school sports day, but a sports day with a difference. The Lord Mayor Treloar College is a special school, a very special school. Its pupils are all severely physically handicapped. The college exists to give these young people a chance to achieve their fullest possible potential in the face of their handicaps, to enable them to live their lives to the full, to give them a childhood. The College and Trust were founded over 75 years ago by Sir William Purdy Treloar, Lord Mayor of London, to alleviate the suffering of the little cripples of the City of London, to educate and to train them. Today, Lord Mayor Treloar College is the largest independent co-educational boarding school of its kind in the country, devoted entirely to the needs of disabled boys and girls. The pupils come from every part of the United Kingdom and are sponsored by their local education authorities. A few pupils also come from abroad. Although it is official policy today to encourage disabled children to attend normal schools, this is often just not possible in practice. The lower school of the college houses boys and girls aged 9 to 14 in an Elizabethan mansion, Foyle Place, near Alton in Hampshire, while the upper school for students 14 to 19 occupies a modern, purpose-built complex at nearby Hollybourne. Over the years, the Trust has had to adapt continuously to the changing needs of new generations with their differing disabilities. From the early years of non-pulmonary tuberculosis, through the scourge of poliomyelitis, and the tragedies caused by the drug thalidomide, to the problems afflicting the present generation. Today, pupils coming to Treloar's are more severely disabled than ever before, and many more are in wheelchairs. The majority of pupils suffer from spina bifida, cerebral palsy, epilepsy, hemophilia, chronic juvenile arthritis, and the neuromuscular diseases such as muscular dystrophy. Many have multiple handicaps or other disorders, less well known, which overshadow their lives. Lives which, for some, may be very brief. There are so many disorders which require the very specialized care available at Treloar's. Some disorders are obvious when a child is born, such as spina bifida. The greatly increased survival rate of spina bifida babies, the result of modern surgical practice, has swelled the numbers of boys and girls with the problems of paraplegia and incontinence. They form the largest single group at the college. In the case of cerebral palsy, the handicap is acquired around the time of birth. Certain conditions do not manifest themselves until a child is 3 or 4 years old. This is particularly true of degenerative diseases such as muscular dystrophy. Other handicaps are the result of illness during childhood, for example, encephalitis or poliomyelitis. Some children's disabilities are the result of road traffic accidents, accidents on the sports field or in the home. Many pupils are not only very disabled, they are also physically very weak. They are totally dependent on other people. This calls for an enormous and dedicated staff, highly experienced and skilled in caring for the children. These people have an extra special kindness and understanding, an appreciation that, for some of these children, any movement is a personal triumph. Every bedroom has to be equipped with mechanical hoists to enable the care staff to assist the boys and girls in and out of bed. Without such dedicated helpers, many of the children could not even hope to try to lead remotely normal lives. Bathrooms and lavatories, too, have to be specially equipped to meet the needs of these disabled children. Many of the boys and girls are incontinent, and the management of their incontinence and the personal hygiene involved has to be learned. Many achieve a high degree of the independence they so desperately desire and deserve. Some boys at the college suffer from haemophilia, an inability of the blood to clot. They often appear hale and hearty, but without expert care can develop crippling disabilities. As yet, there is no cure for haemophilia. There is only treatment for each bleed as it occurs. The inability of the haemophiliac's blood to clot means that bleeds can occur spontaneously, often into joints or muscles. These recurring bleeds can cause considerable damage, which, in turn, can lead to serious disability. At the college, treatment is received rapidly, thus reducing suffering and tissue damage to the minimum. Merely to arrest a bleed is not enough. Subsequent physiotherapy is vital to avoid permanent disability. This is especially important at an age when boys are growing and developing rapidly. The college has many years' experience in managing haemophilia. At Treloar's, all haemophilic boys are taught from an early age how to manage their disorder. Self-treatment with coagulants is both convenient and practical for minor bleeds. The training at Treloar's in the Specialist Haemophilia Centre under a consultant haematologist is very thorough in order to achieve the high standards of technique and hygiene necessary.
Right, you've injected your factor in.
Both the upper and lower schools are divided into houses where the pupils live under the care of house parents, and it is to these houses that they return after lessons, to watch television, to play a game of snooker, telephone home, or just mess about. It must always be remembered that these youngsters, no matter how badly disabled, are still just ordinary kids. They have all the loves, interests, and desires of more fortunate, able-bodied children. Understanding this, the staff and their friends do everything they possibly can to make up for what these children inevitably miss. What they provide by way of parties, discos, and outings go far beyond the call of duty. The physically disabled children who come to Treloar's have as wide a range of academic ability as any group of able-bodied children. Thus, the college must provide education for the full range of abilities, from those pupils who are highly intelligent and able to achieve A levels and go on to university, to those pupils with learning difficulties who may need teaching in a special group. In some classes, the teacher has an assistant to give extra support teaching to pupils who need it. It's now realized that specific learning problems often accompany certain physical disabilities. A physically disabled child of normal intelligence may experience great difficulty with perceptual, spatial, or sequential problems. This sort of teaching is often on a one-to-one basis. As in a normal comprehensive school, the full range of academic subjects is taught, from maths and science to foreign languages. There is a lot of music making by the thriving music department, an orchestra, and even a pop group. Drama is most important, with colorful and exciting performances of plays regularly produced, both on stage and out of doors. In the lower school, all the children learn to cook. They are introduced to a wide variety of standard equipment which enables most of them to cope in the kitchen. But it is the college's adaptability to meet the special needs of each individual child that makes Lord Mayor Treloar College such a remarkable place. For many years, typing has been taught to all the pupils at Treloar's, as so many have problems with writing. Computers are used extensively, far more so than at other schools. These small portable computers with word processing capabilities can be easily carried around and used by a child in a wheelchair. They can be operated by pupils with limited reach or hand function, or with shaky or weak hand movements for taking notes, writing essays, tests, exams, or letters home. They have small built-in printers so that work can be printed out and then pasted into exercise books. When required, the computer can be connected to an external printer, and the notes or essays stored in its memory transferred to standard-sized paper. Computer keyboards and controls are adapted or modified to individual needs by the skilled and dedicated staff, enabling the boys and girls to produce work they could not achieve by hand. A computer with special controls can transform the life of an intelligent boy or girl whose movements as well as speech are seriously affected. The mental isolation and frustration which these handicaps impose is hard for the able-bodied to comprehend. Through his computer, Simon can at last use to the full the intelligence and mental ability which he possesses. Even the sick bay wards are connected to the network of computer terminals throughout the college, enabling sick pupils to keep up with the work of their class. Computers with graphics or painting programs are used to create artwork, which youngsters with shaky or limited hand function could not create otherwise. In repetitive work, the computer is invaluable. Its patience is inexhaustible. Even video games can improve a handicapped boy or girl's coordination, dexterity, and reactions. Some children at Treloar's outwardly appear to be able-bodied, but nevertheless suffer from serious conditions. Most pupils need regular physiotherapy treatment. Provision is made in the individual's daily timetable for this, often several times a week. Many children who arrive at the college have never known what it is to walk. Others have, but have sustained traumatic brain damage in an accident. They have to be taught or retaught balance. And the most basic movements.
That's it. Now come and get it. Stretch for it and down.
The physiotherapists work towards helping each child achieve and maintain maximum mobility. Physiotherapy at Treloar's extends far beyond the confines of the physiotherapy room. Some children who are normally confined to wheelchairs use standing frames in class. These frames and the posture they encourage help to prevent deformities which can occur when muscles are not used sufficiently. The frames enable pupils to stand while doing their lessons. Special seats are also used to help posture. Tricycles are used to practice coordination of muscular movement. A pony helps to convey a sense of rhythmical movement to a seriously handicapped girl. In the swimming pools, the children enjoy a freedom of movement in the water which their disabilities normally prevent. And in the hydrotherapy pool, too. Always, the accent is on movement, to encourage or maintain movement as much as possible, as long as possible. Some pupils have speech impediments associated with their physical disabilities, and speech therapy, too, must be provided.
Okay. Picture. Well done.
In craft and occupational therapy, pupils have their dexterity assessed. They are encouraged to overcome their disabilities by whatever means they can. They are given help finding the aids which can make them more independent. Throughout their time at the college, the progress of each child is constantly reviewed by all those who look after them, the therapists, teachers, and care staff. At the age of 14, pupils move on to the upper school. Normal academic education continues, but a new and increasing emphasis is placed on preparing them to cope with life after they leave the college, on educating them for life. At 16 plus, they are joined by disabled students who have been at other schools and who come to Treloar's to take advantage of the special courses which the college has to offer at the sixth form level. Students who are academically able to proceed to further and higher education may take part or all of their course at the nearby Alton Sixth Form College, while they still enjoy all the help and backup provided by the residential setting at Treloar's. The arrangement with Alton Sixth Form College is so successful that this Treloar student was elected first president of the newly formed Students' Union. One of the original courses from the days of the founder, the tailoring course, still continues to this day. It was always Sir William Purdy Treloar's aim not just to provide academic education, but also to provide his youngsters with a vocational skill to enable them to earn their own living after they left the college. A comprehensive business studies course covers word processing, bookkeeping, duplicating, and many other office skills. These courses lead to City and Guilds of London diplomas and pre-vocational exam qualifications, as does the horticulture course, which is run in conjunction with the Hampshire College of Agriculture. The horticulture department also runs gardening courses for the younger pupils. Like so many, they gain enormous pleasure and satisfaction from growing plants. For youngsters who are very seriously handicapped and confined to wheelchairs, there are special raised flower beds. Before leaving the college, those who are able spend 2 weeks with a colleague in a self-contained independence flat, where they are totally responsible for their budgeting and planning, shopping and cooking. They do all their own housework and still get themselves to school on time. Great emphasis is given to helping the students achieve as much independence as they can. Whenever possible, they learn to drive and pass their tests while still at Treloar's. The college has its own car, specially adapted to the needs of a wide range of disabilities. There is a special course in car maintenance. Mobility is all important for the disabled, both socially and if they are to have any chance of employment. Treloar's pupils learn to regard their wheelchairs as extensions of themselves, and they achieve an extraordinary degree of skill. They have the opportunity to participate in many different sports besides basketball: snooker, squash, riding, archery, bowls, polygym, rifle shooting, swimming, canoeing, fishing, and sailing. Sailing is an activity at which the handicapped and the able-bodied can take exactly the same tests with no allowance given to disabilities. Yet wheelchair-bound students from Treloar's gain their bronze and silver certificates. At the world-famous sports centre for the disabled at Stoke Mandeville, Treloar's boys and girls have achieved a remarkable success over the years. In one recent year, they took 7 national championships and set 3 world records. Camping expeditions, such as this one in the New Forest, are always popular. A few days under canvas hold the same attractions for these children as for any others. The swimming pool provides a safe training ground for the pupils to learn the skills necessary for safe canoeing before venturing onto rivers and canals. Many of these outdoor activities can be used in the Duke of Edinburgh Award scheme. For these boys on their camping expedition for their Silver Award, the college's all-terrain vehicles provide a very special form of mobility. They can take themselves cross-country, away from it all, as they could never do in their wheelchairs. Severely handicapped youngsters are allowed assistance on their expeditions. These able-bodied helpers are from a local school and are also working for their Duke of Edinburgh awards. They are just a few of the vast army of caring people who make a childhood possible for these disabled children. Indeed, the unique establishment which is Treloar's can only exist with the assistance and generosity of the whole community. There is a League of Friends, people who live locally, always ready to provide a helping hand when necessary, and also the Parents' Association, people deeply involved with the college. Although the children's fees are paid by local education authorities and cover the daily running costs of the school, all capital expenditure is met by the Treloar Trust, a charity which depends for its income on voluntary contributions. There is a network of collectors who live all over the British Isles, supporting the college by raising funds and making its work known, often giving their time as a thanks offering for their own children. For particular projects, the Treloar Trust launches special appeals. One such appeal was for a new hostel, providing much-needed accommodation for students in the rapidly expanding sixth form. Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Gloucester opened this new hostel named Gloucester House in her honour when she visited the college. The new building is entirely at ground level. Easy access for wheelchairs. The students in single or double study bedrooms. Their rooms reflect the interests of any teenager. The bedrooms have to be larger than normal to accommodate the high proportion of students in wheelchairs, as do the corridors and doorways. All this essential spaciousness inevitably makes such a building very expensive, as does the need to provide highly specialized facilities and equipment. But Gloucester House is more than just a hostel. Like the college, it is an experience which these youngsters will remember all their lives. Throughout its history, the college has maintained close links with the City of London. Each Lord Mayor of London is an ex officio trustee. The annual visit by the Lord Mayor during the year of office, accompanied by masters of the livery companies, is a highlight of the school year. Many individual livery companies take a particular interest in the work of the college. This link with the City of London is as strong today as in the days of the founder. Indeed, recently, Lord Mayor Sir Alan Trail, during his year of office, raised a large part of the funds necessary to build the new vocational skills centre, named the Trail Centre in his honour. He took a keen personal interest in the plans for this, and also the new therapy centre, and he cut the first turf for the building. Both these new centres are now in full operation. His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales toured the new buildings when he opened the Trail Centre in March 1987. He took a keen interest in the students and their work. He saw the many new facilities and extensive range of equipment from which the Trail students benefit, and which they obviously appreciate and enjoy, as here in the Craft, Design and Technology Department. The therapeutic value of horticulture is well known, and the Prince, as a knowledgeable gardener himself, showed great interest in the specially designed raised flower beds in the new garden area. It was a memorable day for everyone at the college. The spacious new therapy centre combines physio, occupational and speech therapy, together with a bioengineering workshop in one area for the first time. Here, as throughout the college, painstaking and caring assessment and remedial help are carried out. Very often on a one-to-one basis. Students joining the Trail Centre courses at 16+ spend their first term being assessed, trying out each of the courses on offer to see which course will be of most benefit, so that each can build upon and develop his or her abilities and independence to the full, with a view to attaining the appropriate national qualification whenever possible. Where necessary, tailor-made courses are provided for individual students with particular problems, sometimes revealing unsuspected abilities and talents of a high order. The primary aim of these courses, the business studies course, for example, is to prepare the students for employment and independence when they leave the college. And the professional equipment on which they are trained, such as these word processors, equips the students to take their place in the commercial world. All the vocational skills courses now available at the Trail Centre are in the true spirit of Sir William Purdy Treloar's original foundation. There is a professionally equipped photographic studio and darkroom and a music recording studio. Using these music facilities, a group of students from the college wrote and performed a song which won the nationwide Song for Health competition. New features such as the electronics course offer yet more scope. In these days of high unemployment and far greater severity of handicap, finding full-time employment is an increasingly difficult problem for physically handicapped young people. Even if full-time employment is not possible, these courses encourage the development of new skills, which can lead to home-based industry, or at least to a new interest for the housebound person. The more avenues open to them, the greater the chance of leading useful, productive lives in which they can take pride. All these opportunities can help a boy or girl make best use of his or her time. And all are part of giving them a sense of purpose and achievement to sustain them throughout their lives. Over the years, the trust founded by Lord Mayor Treloar has helped thousands of children to overcome their disabilities. The trust, with its supporters, makes all this possible. It makes it possible for Lord Mayor Treloar College to give these boys and girls a childhood. In a few brief years, they may experience more than many people do in a whole lifetime. Most will never again have such opportunities. It's no wonder that the boys and girls look back on their years at Treloar's as full of activity, full of social life, the happiest years of their lives. For some, these may well be their only years. What these boys and girls achieve may indeed be measured in exams passed, races won, or employment found. But for many, their achievements cannot be measured so simply. Their prizes are rewards for progress in spite of handicap, for courage and cheerfulness in the face of difficulty, and sometimes pain, for persevering, and for overcoming overwhelming odds. The Lord Mayor Treloar College gives these boys and girls a childhood and holds out a hand to help them to help themselves. We too owe it to them to give them a childhood.